भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सत्सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
So welcome to all of you, and this week we are supposed to start the second round of the full teaching of Bhagavad Gita. That also happens to be includes Karma Yoga, because third chapter we finished second chapter last time. The third chapter is Karma Yoga. There are something in fourth chapter also, fifth chapter also. So the second round of teaching will have Karma Yoga a little bit, and then Jnana Yoga, then benefits. So Jnana Yoga also will be there, then Jnana Yoga, benefits. So Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, benefits. So Jnana Yoga comes in, meditation comes in sixth chapter. So before that, we have to cover 3, 4 and 5. So a lot of things are there. So we will cover the slokas today, and then Karma Yoga is one of the components of this second round also. And we have started Karma Yoga, the second chapter, 40th sloka, 41st sloka, then 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. All these covered direct Karma Yoga. Before that, we had 2 separate classes for Karma Yoga. So, we will discuss your input also, because most of you are youngsters, and Karma Yoga can be in the profession also, and in the household work also, and in social service, whatever thing that we take up after retirement and everything. So this one you also get interaction, have some interaction in Karma Yoga aspect. What are the difficulties to apply Karma Yoga in your life? From your perspective, if you come out and tell, then we can share it with others. With others' opinion also can be shared. So here, see, this chapter is you see, this brings bhakti and its influence. This chapter brings bhakti and its influence and its power to convert karma into yoga. That is what bringing Ishvara, bringing God, is must in to get the full benefits of Karma Yoga. So that is a beautiful thing. It's discussed in this chapter, bringing devotion. and convert the karma into yoga. Convert the karma means convert your action into yoga. So in that process, this chapter discuss with the general orders of the world in the form of Ishvara, God. Then ecology, the nature which surrounds you. It brings beautifully the ecology aspect of the life, and also it tells about the unselfishness, from selfish to unselfish. Then above that is selflessness, but it brings the unselfish attitude also, and thereby improving your efficiency, reducing your anxiety, apprehensions, fear in your life, and increases your efficiency in your actions. What a beautiful thing. In all this, whichever way you look into this, the Karma Yoga uplift your life. Karma Yoga attitude, it is the attitude. Whichever karma you can do, means you are doing, you can bring it, including your housework. So it brings that change in the attitude in what you are doing now. That is also no change. So that we will aspire, we will again, one sloga is there. From there only that our very popular, powerful Karma Yoga principle in MMT is shared. So that we'll discuss in that sloga. So now, before starting the slogas, if it is interaction is better, because at the end whether we will get time or not, we don't know, because once we start covering sloga, a lot of slogas are there without much discussion. Just 2 lines meaning is sufficient. So we will be covering the sloga. So if you put some kind of views about the problem in adopting Karma Yoga principle in your work, if you share it, others can also put their views on your point, and I can also share. Because Karma Yoga you can bring in your office work, household work, or any kind of social service also. So anybody wants to bring the problem, difficulties, or questions to bring the attitude of the attitude of Karma Yoga in your actions, in your work, in your job, in your activities. You can unmute and tell. Volume is there, no? The problems of, the attitude of how to bring the Karma Yoga in your activities. That we discussed in 2 classes, the full classes also, and the first round of teaching Bhagavad Gita is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, then the benefits. So Karma Yoga everyone should have understood. So is there any problem or questions? How can I bring the attitude of Karma Yoga in my action? This is the question.
Hi sir, Vijay.
Vijay, tell me.
I think largely I have been able to apply, but thing which I am still facing the issue is the consistency of applying it to the situation. Whenever intentionally, sometimes I am able to do it when I think, I remember myself, and before starting that act, I just pray to God and just offer it to God, and then it helps me to some extent. But sometimes, in the heat of the situation and because of its normal routine, sometimes it gets missed, and again I'm getting back to the situation. So those were a few of the issues which I'm constantly trying to overcome, but largely it's been helping. I'm not saying that largely it's helping, but yeah, sometimes there are situations where it's kind of missed out from my side.
This kind of question means this one. kindles the expansion of our discussion also. You see, he has brought a beautiful question. Intentionally is able to do it. Intentionally is able to do it, but spontaneously it doesn't come. That's what he means. It doesn't come
Yes.
spontaneously. But for me, it actually okay. At that means advanced stage of wisdom, it happens spontaneously. There's a discussion in the third chapter by Pujya Swamiji how it becomes the life of wise person. The Karma Yoga is spontaneous, without effort. There's a reason for that. That is what happens. Means I will tell it because otherwise maybe I miss it. In the advanced stage, we don't differentiate people. Myself, my boss, my neighbor, there is no differentiation. So in that way, if the benefit, if the action of my benefit goes to the neighbor, I am so happy because the neighbor is not different from me. So boss is not different from me. That my subordinate is not different from me. My colleague is not different from my. This one will not come even in the middle stage. Only in very advanced stage it will come, and it is very difficult to expect it in the profession.
Okay.
We are very correct. You are very correct. So you have to bring it intentionally only for a long time. Spontaneously is very difficult in the profession because what is going around and everything. So here how this logic is correct means, see, instead of bringing people and their personalities and their faces and their behaviors, this order of various general orders only Ishvara. What is God? God is not a figure. God is, as you are praying God and starting, it's very good. But when you pray God and start, don't visualize any particular Swarupa. Don't, see, initial stage, okay, favorite God is there, Ishtadevata is there, you are serving it as an offering to the Ishtadevata is very, very basic, elementary level. But afterwards, when you are want to improve your efficiency and also reduce your apprehensions, others' behavior or like that, how can I bring Karma Yoga to remove all these things? We have to shift the Ishtadevata Swarupa to the Arupa Ishvara. Because Arupa Ishvara means what? Different orders, general orders of development, general orders. What is that? Physical order, chemical order, biological order, then psychological order is also God. So others' attitude, others' behavior, everything is within God. So that way we can minimize having bad opinion about others' behavior. This is the way. This is the way to improve the effect of Karma Yoga and get benefit. See, Baba, definitely I agree with you. It is very difficult to bring it in the corporate culture. But if you want to improve your efficiency, then this is one of the very, very powerful tool. It may appear that others will make use of your this kind of broad-mindedness, but you will also gain. You will also gain. Very important thing, because you will be able to understand the new technologies and everything, not at the cost of others. At the same time, in a clean mind, pure mind, new things will go easily into your mind. Spontaneously, without much effort. Otherwise, with blocks, new ideas will not go. You will not be able to get creativity in our bringing in thoughts and actions. So all this will become spontaneous, because mind purity and broad, it will become wider, and that is the beauty of this Karma Yoga principle. So slowly, the bringing Karma Yoga with intentionally is very good. That is required also, but spontaneous arrival of Karma Yoga principle in the mind will uplift you. This is a very important thing, because everything is Ishvara, everything is God. Bad behavior also God, good behavior also God. So you will not hate anyone. So nobody will sit in your mind to block your creativity or new ideas or the quality of work. Otherwise, others sit in your head and they block your efficiency, your capacity of work. This is a very good thing.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, because this round of teaching also, Karma Yoga will be one of the important part. So that is why. So here, anybody else wants to put in between also, you can put your views. Otherwise, we will start with slogas. So first sloka what we selected is not from the beginning. You all remember. I will say again. I will tell you that is after that slokas of 22 and 23. We have selected that. Why Lord Krishna always activity, activity, activity. That is what that started. Then we will go back to the slokas 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 already covered. That was the turning point in my life. Sloka number 5 of third chapter gave a turning point in my life. That we already discussed. From that 6, 7, 8, 9 we will discuss. After bringing the 22nd sloka and 23rd sloka, because Lord Krishna himself is telling why he is constantly involved in action. Yeah, start. 22.
नवे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि.
Chapter 3, verse 22. Partha, it's Arjuna, for me there is nothing to be done. In the three worlds, there is nothing to be gained by me, which is not yet gained. Yet I remain engaged in action. That's the translation.
How is the sloga and its interpretation? Are you able to understand or increase? You want more volume? Last time it was some people were not properly listening the sloga, no, not able to get the audio. If any thing is that, please unmute and tell. We will increase the volume.
It's fine, sir.
Okay. Now here he is telling Lord. In all the three words, three words means it is 14 logas. Bhuloga, then upper logas and lower logas. In all the three phases, three realm of world, that is universe, he doesn't have anything to achieve. That's what Ishvara, Lord. But Krishna, if you see that life of Krishna, Bhagavatam, Mahabharata's one part is Lord Krishna's role and Bhagavad Gita is fully. But Srimad Bhagavatam tells about the life of Lord Krishna. From childhood, you know, you would have heard as a Hindu definitely what are the mischievous actions you are doing as a child. Then the adolescent, adult. Then you know so many things. And here also, no, he as a Duta, as a ambassador, he went to the Duryodanas, and then in the war, he was the king of Dwarka. He himself offered as a driver to Arjuna. You see how many different types of activities he has taken part. He has nothing to do with all these actions because he is the sustainer of universe. So nothing to achieve, but why he did? To show, to teach people as an example. So this again it will come the same thing. So in any stage, in the stage of ignorance, ajnanam, in the stage of jnanam, and also in your logika work, means professionals and everything, you can bring karma yoga. That is what even if you don't have anything to achieve, you can be very active and also you can contribute. And in the advanced stage, it is an example to others. So the next sloka also it is the same thing. I just will pass it on. Then we will go to the beginning. Yeah.
यदिह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः.
Chapter 3, verse 23. For should I not ever engage myself in action without being lazy? Partha, that's Arjuna, people would follow my example in every way. That's the translation.
So here also models are there. No, people follow the models. So that is the way he is answering this, because he is a role model. Arjuna is a role model. Lord Krishna is also a role model for a wider society. So as an example, he is taking part in different types of actions. though he has nothing to do, achieve anything in the life. This is one of the things. Now we will go to the beginning of the chapter. Fifth sloka, fifth sloka I will tell, because fifth sloka we have covered. That brought the turning point in my life, because that's almost starting of the karma yoga. That is, nahi kaschit chanamabi jadu tishtate karma krit karite hevasha karma sarva prakriti jarikuna. That's what when I was losing eyesight. This one we have already covered, so we are not playing it. So this sloka, just I will tell you, you can recollect that this sloka says all the parts of our body, senses are helplessly active. It is the niyam, it is the rule. Because this is nothing, no much teaching is required, because to silence the mind only you require effort. Otherwise, mind always active. Means what? Visual thoughts, audio thoughts, and also so many things, and our organs also working. So helplessly they work. That is the nature. So instead of allowing them to work on their own, you be the driving force. You means here you are using the free will. You are not Atma. So that need not bring it. Here means you are means doership. Karma yoga, your doership is there. So jiva. So okay, we are this is second round of teaching. We are coming back to the the triangle format. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Karma yoga is triangle format, because Ishvara is coming in the picture. Jiva is there. Jiva is in. So you means the jiva. That is the, because teaching presupposes jivatvam. When there is a teaching, free will is there. Because otherwise, without free will, how you can take up the teaching? Take up the teaching means follow the teaching. So when teaching is there, it presupposes jivatvam. That is for the beginners. Beginners means those who are in the spiritual pursuit. So there only finally only doership losing. So here you be the driving force behind your senses. You decide what is to be heard, you hear. Where is to go, you use the legs and go. What is to do actions, you do with your hands. Eyesight was losing, so whatever was possible for me to see half an inch or 1 centimeter, I was able to see in the Bhagavad Gita. So that was the thing. Nahi Kanchit Chanamabi, fifth sloka. Then we will play the sloka number 6, 7, 8, 9 together, because they are all about the Karma Yoga only, and after that we will discuss here.
कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य यहास्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते.
Chapter 3, verse 6. The one who, controlling the organs of action, sits with the mind remembering those sense objects, is deluded and is called a person of false conduct. That's the translation.
So here he is telling about the hypocrite, pretender. So physically renunciation of action is not possible. So if forcefully you stop activities, again visualization will be coming. My mind will think. For others, they may think that you are not doing any action, but internally you are doing that mental action. That is powerful. Mental actions are very powerful. So he is telling the mityachara. So that kind of thing will not work. So physical renunciation of action is not advocated also, not possible also. Only mental renunciation, that is slowly we are bringing the Vedanta, the Karma Yoga, that is offering to a God.
यस्मिन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते.
Chapter 3, verse 7. Whereas Arjuna, the one who, controlling the sense organs with the mind, remaining unattached, takes to the yoga of action, that is action performed with yoga buddhi, with the organs of action, is far superior. That's the translation.
नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं स्वाध्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्धेद कर्मणः.
Chapter 3, verse 8. Do action that is to be done, because action is superior to inaction. Even the maintenance of your body would be impossible by inaction. That's the translation.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर.
Chapter 3, verse 9. A person is bound by karma if it is not done as yajna, that is, as an offering to Ishvara. For this reason, Kaunteya, that is Arjuna, being one free from attachment, perform action for the sake of that yajna. That's the translation.
Here some explanation may be required. The yajna, if you recollect, when we started the this, teaching, that is universe, creation of universe and everything, 8th chapter, 3rd and 4th sloka, yajna is defined. That is the reason. That is the reason Pujya Swamiji has brought his own way of explaining. Ishvara is non-different from the general orders of the world. That is what yajna. It is not homa. It is not yaha and everything. Yajna means actually sacrifice is a word, but still it is we don't bring the vachyata, dictionary meaning. It is to be implied meaning. So that yajna attitude, contribution is one of the very good translation for yajna. The attitude of contribution. So that is yajna's meaning. So the overall this the act of contribution, the contributor and who takes the contribution is non-different from Ishvara. So all the orders of the world, list of orders we always tell, physical, chemical, biological, astronomical, everything is, God is that only. So that is the overlord of all these things is yajna. That's what defined in the 8th chapter, 4th sloka. This meaning is that. So your activities should be a contribution. So this is the sloka which brought the MMT, that to start the day with a prayer to God and your company, or if it's a household, your family, thank, or not that with frustration I am working for the family. Thank the family, thank God, and you are able to contribute. But in the profession, I tell, you may not know the person who is getting the benefits, or you may not be directly knowing the person whom you are helping to remove some problem. That's what your profession is doing. Your office work is doing indirectly, removing the problem of a person, or giving some benefits to a person without knowing the person somewhere in the world. So you are contributing. For that, you are able to get up from the bed, and your organs are working. You have got the knowledge, and also company is providing. So start the day with this positive note. This the MMT's origin sloka is this: yajna arthat karmano nitra lobhayam karma bandhana. If you don't do this, if you do this for your selfishness, it will bound you. It will bind. You will got bound. That binding, how the binding comes? You will be after the result. If the result comes opposite to your expectation, you will get frustration, hatred, depression, and because of that your efficiency will go to very bad level. So to avoid that only Karma Yoga is there. So as a contribution, if you do, this kind of attitude will not come. So that is the meaning of this verse. And next verse we will see, and we will see the subtle aspects of teaching also. Some examples are there. So we will see the next verse is which one?
19.
19.
तस्मादसक्तः सततम् कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः.
Chapter 3, verse 19. Therefore, always perform well the action that is to be done without attachment, because by performing action without attachment, a person attains the highest. That's the translation.
Very simple one. Next paragraph. 20 also you see.
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थितः जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि.
Chapter 3, verse 20. Indeed, by action alone, Janaka and others gained liberation. Also, by merely seeing the desirability of protecting the people from falling into unbecoming ways, you ought to perform action. That's the translation.
Here, this example already we discussed in one of our classes. That is King Janaka, Ashwapati, and everything. They were jnanis. They were having high level of activities and everything. So that is one. And also we told the story of the 2-3 business people discussing business in between some calamity came. So how we behave. There's a profound teaching between what and so what. So this you recollect. That is what this the next one.
कर्मण्यविद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्यात् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षुर्लोकसङ्ग्रहम्.
Chapter 3, verse 25. Bharata, that's Arjuna, just as the universe, who are attached to the results, perform action, so too would the wise perform action, but without attachment, desirous of doing that which is for the protection of the people. That's the translation.
So here what is to be understood is that, see, the anxiety and worries, all these things will have no room when you bring Karma Yoga into your life. With ignorance of this fact, if you perform your actions, the source of anxiety and unexpected things. But those things will be totally negated. You bring Karma Yoga because you are doing as an offer to the Lord and without focusing on the results. So results, already we discussed so many times. Results are not only depending on your actions, it has got so many factors behind it, the contribution of others and also your product and everything. So this is one of the slokas was our discussion of those aspects. Next one is 30.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशेर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः.
Chapter 3, verse 30. Renouncing all actions unto me, with a mind that is discriminating, devoid of expectations with reference to the future and any sense of mindness, without any anger or frustration, whatsoever, fight, act. That's the translation.
Indirectly, this is for all of everyone. It's not only for Arjuna. Fight is there in the sloka, but it's not only for fighting. It is for everyone's normal activities. And this is not a advice or not a command. It is neither a command from the driver. No, actually, though he has put the Krishna from the driver's seat to the teacher's seat, this is not a command. Because we already discussed in the first or second class also, finally after teaching 700 slokas, in the 63rd sloka, Bhagavan is telling, I have told what I have to tell you, now it is up to you, whatever you want you do. That's what he has told. And Arjuna also started fighting. So here he is stating that it is not a command, and it is not advice also. It is not advice also. It is the teaching. So second chapter in 11th sloka, what is the teaching? That is the fundamental. Wants to remove the root cause. So it's a teaching. So that is one other thing. And he is telling, as an offering to me. As an offering to me means it is not from person to person. Here again it is bringing Ishvara. That is the general orders, dharmic action. Because dharma, the dharmic action, dharma is the expression of God. Dharma is the expression of God. So that is what the conscience, what is the common sense? It is manasakshi. So it is a reflection of dharma in the pure mind. So some question comes. So God is so powerful. Why all people are not dharmic? They're only the play drama, cosmic drama comes Maya's thing. No? So you have got a free will. So free will means what? Actions may be curtailed in the society, but for criminals that is also not there. Speaking has got less restriction. Speech, liberty for speech, freedom for speech and everything is there. But when it comes to thinking, what? Absolutely it is 100% up to you. What you think now, I don't know. What others think also, you don't know. So now, the 100% free will is there for thinking. See, the thinking has got totally, it's up to you. So that thinking attitude change is possible with this teaching. That is what very important thing here. And here, see, the last week I was discussing with some people. They are telling Bhagavad Gita is appearing more difficult than Vedanta Simplified. The title of that itself is the reason. No? Vedanta Simplified is purposely it was simplified with so many examples from logic and science. Bhagavad Gita is difficult only, not only it is difficult, you should have faith in that is the voice of God, and also the reverence attitude and everything. And as I told you, that kind of thing, no? That is Bhagavan's words or Vedas, they have to be given the status of a pramana. Just like eyesight, colors, you are not verifying with your smell or taste. So that means it only eyes can tell you. Similarly, taste, mouth can tell you. So that way, if you give the status, that kind of status to Bhagavad Gita or Veda, you will get the benefits fast. So that is one thing. Vedanta Simplified is Vedanta Simplified. So that will be definitely easier than. But here, under sunrise, you give that status, and also subtle mind is required. Subtle means sharpness of the intellect, and repetition of the efforts as advised by the Shastra and as advised by the teacher. Increasing the eligibility, repeat the listening. Increase the eligibility, repeat the listening. There only one example we have not discussed, that we bring it here. See, about 500 years before, in AD 1500, 14 or something, till that time it was geocentric. That is, on seeing the sun rising from the east and setting in the west, it was concluded that it is a universe is a geocentric system. Earth is in the middle and the other things are rotating. But some peculiar name was there, that was the geocentric. But afterwards, Nicholas Copernicus, he did so much efforts. There's something wrong in the geocentric system, and he did this kind of a set of things for very long time to disprove that it is not geocentric. He did not use much of the instruments. He used only this four things. What is perception? Perception means seeing. Seeing with the naked eye or seeing with telescope. Seeing, perception. Then perception to observation. The shift. The shift. Perception means seeing. Then observation means you add your so many other logics also in that. Observe the movement of stars, today's position of the particular star, say, next day's position, like that. Observe. Then thinking. That's what I told. This Vedanta simplified requires thinking and subtle. This aspect of this binary format, no, shifting from the triangular format to the binary format, definitely it requires thinking. That's what the first round of teaching, the last few classes were tough. They were telling. That is means that slogan number 11 to 20 of second chapter. The description of Atma in various this thing now, that requires very subtle thinking, because Atma is of higher reality, that is, it can never be experienced, it is not experienceable, it is only cognitively you have to understand. So those things again require thinking. So the person who disproved geocentric system used this one, that is perception, seeing, then observation, then thinking, then recording, documentation. This thing he repeated for many years. Then brought out this thing, I think in about 20, 30 years, 1542 or something. He told sun is not going around the earth. In fact, earth is rotating on its axis and earth is only going around the sun. So this required not with any kind of instrumental proof. Perception, observation, thinking, recording and repeating this for again and again. Similarly here also in Vedanta also, same thing will be there. First triangular format, then going to binary format. Triangular format appears to be a little bit easy. So Jiva Jagat is what we are observing. So there is only we are changing the attitude by bringing Ishvara. Otherwise, it is nothing. No, what big teaching is required to tell that. There is no teaching is required to tell that you are different from me. It is obvious. There is no difference to tell universe is different from you. It's obvious. There is no teaching is required to tell God is different from you. It is obvious in the temple. But there is something more than that. That's what Tattvamasi, no, we were discussing. Tattvamasi cannot be in Vachyata, the implied meaning. That's what is going on in the Viveka Chodamani. So that we will anyway have some good discussion there. So that thing you have to have subtle thinking. The different aspects of that, different aspects of Tvam and the Aikyam. That is non-difference. That is what. That is why teaching is required. No, otherwise, what? To tell that God is different from you, no teaching is required. So God is non-different from you. That only teaching is required. For that, from the student's side, you have to again put this fourth thing. Here it is not seeing; it is listening. Listening and also doubt clearance, contemplation, thinking, then again repetition. If nothing happens, then increase the eligibility, again repeat these four things. That is the way to this thing. And if even if it is some time is less, we can finish it, because some people know I was engaged in all for 5 days up to yesterday in another some kind of journalist interview was there. I was preparing for this. So this we thought of giving a break, but I don't want to give. We thought of slogas are there, similar slogas. So we have discussed about I think around 9 or 10 slogas today. So we will end this session now, and then your discussion up to 9, if it is time, we will continue. Pending that. 45. Good. So only 15 minutes left over, no? So we will end the session. Then we will have anything interaction. Some time will be there. Okay.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Anamika is there.
So Namika, so sorry to know that your father passed away or after conference. So I want to, we have just WhatsApped you. I want to tell you also.
Anamika?
You have heard, no? So others to anything interaction, because some more slokas are there in this chapter. Then we will have some fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter, and this round also will be.